Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Dazed and Confused, starring Jason London, Wiley Wiggins, Matthew McConaughey, Milla Jovovich, Ben Affleck, and Adam Goldberg, directed by Richard Linklater. Now, I've never seen this movie before, and I hear a lot of good things about it, like that Matthew McConaughey's classic line, alright, alright, alright. So, let's see if this is as big of a classic as I heard it was. Let's get into the movie. Last Day of School comes on May 28th, 1976, for some pot-smoking teenagers, and it gives us two different stories. One is beginning freshman Mitch Kramer, played by Wiley Wiggins, who I really like him in this movie as he's completely relatable. And the second is the high school seniors coming next year, as we sometimes follow Randall Park, Randall Pink Floyd, played by Jason London, his girlfriend Simone Kerr, played by Joey Lauren Adams, Kevin Pickford, along with Michelle Burrows, played by Milla Jovovich, Ron Slater, Mike Newhouse, played by Adam Goldberg, Tony Olson, Don Dawson, Cynthia Dunn, Shavonne Wright, Mitch's sister Jody, and Benny O'Donnell, played by Cole Hauser, as some of the high school seniors come off like assholes, while others are much nicer than the ones beating up on Mitch, while Coach Conrad wants a paper signed by Randall as the leader of the high school douchebags. Fred O'Banion, played by, I think I said that right, played by Ben Affleck, wants to slap Mitch's ass with a cricket bat. As the class finally finishes for the day, and Mitch is attacked by Fred, and I know what being picked on as a freshman is like when I was in high school, I'll say. And I went through that once in my life. And this beginning scenes are very funny and pretty realistic, as Carl's mother protects Carl and Mitch from getting beaten by Fred, and I enjoy these scenes as I don't miss high school for a damn good reason. Meanwhile, head bitch Darla Marks, played by Parker Posey, picks on the freshman girls by putting eggs, ketchup, and mustard on them, while we meet Sabrina Davis. And I really like these characters, and this plot is a hell of a lot of fun with very likable characters. Kevin gets delivery of kegs of beer being delivered at his residence, while his father will most definitely have a cow with his son as the party is off for Kevin and his friends. And I like the setting of the 1970s, and it feels very much like a stoner comedy, which has always been a funny movie genre in my opinion. Mitch goes to his final baseball game as an 8th grader, while Kevin's friends can't have their party at his residence, and after the game, Mitch gets his ass beaten by Fred and his friends, while Randall kind of comes to the rescue. And the soundtrack is very 1970s, and I like the soundtrack to this movie for that reason alone. Randall gives Mitch a ride home from the game after Mitch getting his ass beaten with a cricket bat, and Randall invites Mitch for a drive after he gets home, and director Richard Linklater does a good job at making me totally entertained, as well as the dialogue working quite tremendously. Mitch and Carl go in a car with David Warderson, played by Matthew McConaughey, who's the best character in this whole movie in my opinion, particularly since that line, alright, alright, alright. And Mitch hangs out with Randall and all his friends, and I'm really digging the cinematography, as this movie was shot tremendously. Carl has a friend who gets slapped in the ass by Fred, and they drink some beers after beating up on one of Carl's friends after leaving a party and walking home. Meanwhile, Mitch bumps into his crush Sabrina, and Randall gets back to Mitch and hangs out with him for the rest of the night as they dump trash around the knocking around mailboxes. And I'm really enjoying myself viewing this movie both times, and I watched this twice for this review. Randall buys some beer while Mitch is the lookout, and the man comes up with a gun for busting his mailbox, and they escape from him, which made me laugh big time. Mitch bullshits his way through buying some beer and bumps into Carl and comes with him back to the party at the pool house, and Fred finds out Carl is there and almost beats him in the ass until one of the guys he beat up on poured some cum, and by cum I mean cum, on him, and Fred is pissed off as he breaks the cricket bat and drives off like a pussy boy he is, which was a very funny scene, and it serves the motherfucker right. David tells some after high schoolers about a party at the lake, and as they get there, they have a hell of a lot of fun, like I am with this movie from start to finish. There's a full moon of the night shows up as Mitch and others climb a tower of electricity and get quite a fucking nice view of the town they're living at, and that is a terrific shot from this movie. Randall says, "Oh no, it's the cops," when he was just bullshitting around, which did make me laugh. I will admit that. While the rest of the party scene is fun, cute, and very funny. At one point, one of the stoners, Slater, says the Joan Jett and the Runaway song Cherry Bomb is about aliens, which is incorrect for sure, but the dialogue is fun to listen to. Mitch goes up to the assholes that beat his ass, asking if he's going to fuck his crush or be a wimp about it. And Darla asks Sabrina to get back on the ground, but she doesn't, while one of the three friends picks on a greaser named Clint, and Clint beats his ass, and Mitch is drunk, and Jody tells him their mother is going to wait up on him, and David and others get stopped by the police from hanging out at the football field, let me rephrase that. And I really like these scenes as they're a fun, tremendous time at the movies. The next morning comes and Mitch comes home drunk while his mother finds him getting home at the sunrise while drunk as hell, and she lets him off with the hook the one time and says if it happens again, she won't be as forgiving, as this scene shows, and he goes to sleep while Randall and David and others get a talk from Coach Conrad and tells him he's not signing the paper playing football under his condition, but to do his own thing, and the climax was a good time at the end of the day. Now it's time for my rating. I'll give this movie a 8.7 out of 10. I really like the characters as they're likable characters, as the movie is a hell of a lot of fun, and there's a reason I don't look back on the high school years, as they're not like this movie, as this is a very well made funny movie. I love the stoner humor and the setting of the 1970s, while feeling like a stoner comedy is a great choice for director Richard Linklater, and the soundtrack is very 1970s, as I like the soundtrack for that reason alone. And the writing in this movie is done tremendously, as it entertained me from start to finish. The cinematography was very good in this movie, as this is going to maybe be my top 5 Richard Linklater films, as this is a solid recommendation, as I really enjoyed myself viewing this film twice for this review. And I might own this on my Blu-ray collection, or 4K Blu-ray collection, I'll say. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and next time I will be back with Before Sunrise, and until then, alright.